10 reasons why Bakewell is one of Britain's best towns to live in. My attention has been drawn to the town of Bakewell since the time I found it on my subscribers list as one of Britain's best towns to live in. I, however, have been unable to do justice to the small market town located in the Dales of the county of Derbyshire, which is some 21 kilometres southwest of the city of Sheffield. I found a lot of interesting things about the town, and I can only deal with those things if I dedicate an entire video to the town located in the southeastern corner of the Peak District National Park. Therefore, follow along as I show you 10 reasons why Bakewell is one of Britain's best towns. 1. Countryside. The first thing that caught my attention was the countryside. It made no serious impression on me when I first read about that in an article in the Sunday Times of September 2019. The journal then described the attractions and allures of living within the town in the Peak District National Park and Derbyshire Dales. Now I vividly remember the attractiveness of those stone cottages, green valleys and rugged moorland. Yet that's not all there is to be remembered about the countryside of Bakewell. Imagine living close to this natural and walking up every day to the sight of bright sunrise appearing over the mountain. I'm sure you'd want to consider such a town one of the best towns to live in Britain. 2. Good and independent schools. Other reasons you would love to live in Bakewell are its schools and their quality. As small as the town is, it has great schools. 3 of its principal primary schools enjoy top ratings in England, and its Lady Manners School stands tall among its peers, judging from the performances of its students and products. To affirm the quality of its schools, search out the Bakewell CofE Infant School at Bath Street and see its good inspection rating. Child First Bakewell Day Nursery at Derbyshire House, which is childcare on non-domestic, also has an equally good rating to help you care for your kids' formative years. Pilsley CofE Primary School at Pilsley Village and Bakewell Methodist Junior School are examples its primary schools that are doing so great. You can also talk about the independent St Anselm's Preparatory School and College. This cares for pupils aged 3 to 16. 3. Shopping. I guess you want to live in a town where you won't have a hard time or need so much travel to shop. Great! Bakewell is one of the best Britain's towns to live in if it is the shopping you're after. This little town is replete with these as they're packed to the rafters with gifts and crafts. You could easily pick up practical and functional gears that also function outdoor. Your kitchen accessories and photographic services are at your fingertips. You don't need to look any further. Bakewell is a shopaholic's delight where you'll get more than you bargain for. In fact, you could spend days in just one shop if you had the luxury. You'd love, for example, Granby Arcade for the unusual. With many unique boutiques, art galleries and gift items, you will certainly be able to find something hard to come by elsewhere. 4. Road connections. The town of Bakewell is well connected by road thanks to its location in the north of the Midlands. It is adequately serviced by the motorway network. The car journey from London, for instance, takes about 3 hours via the M1 motorway as it leaves the junction for Matlock. If you want to travel from Windsor, for example, to Bakewell, you will spend just £20, and it takes just about 3 hours. And from Whitby, it costs only £23, and you will get there in just 3 hours. That's one good reason to believe that Bakewell is one of Britain's best towns to live in. 5. Rail connection. Due to the importance of rail as a cheap, fast, reliable mode of transportation, we would love to live in a town with a good rail connection. This is one of the reasons we have recognised the town of Bakewell as one of Britain's best towns to live in. There is a direct link from London by train, which takes about 4 hours on average. There are stations nearby, Matlock, which is just 12 kilometres away, Chesterfield 20 kilometres and Buxton 17 kilometres away, with regular frequent services to the town. 6. Bakewell Pudding. You probably have heard about the Bakewell Pudding. If you are living in London, you have learned about a confectionery with a nationwide outreach. This town is home to that iconic confection. If only because of this and Bakewell Tart as well as the Cherry Bakewell, each with different tastes and features, Bakewell is a town anyone living in Britain should consider as one of the best to call home. 7. Property and design. The Peak District may not have been sloganised as the treasure in Derbyshire's chest if Bakewell is not a part of it. Bakewell is indeed the gem of this district with its glorious character cottages in addition to those wonderful old buildings. In fact, the architecture of the town alone is enough for anyone to consider it one of Britain's best towns to live in. If you are in doubt, just try a visit to see it yourself. You are likely to desire to extend your day trip and try to stay longer. Entering the town on foot from Baslow, you must cross over the River Wye. The Gothic, 5-arched 14th century bridge that will greet your eyes will certainly fill you with marvel. This building is one of the oldest of its kind you will find in the UK. What about the Bakewell's average value of a home? As of November 2020, it was around £410,550, when the England average home price was £266,742, and Derbyshire Dale's price averaged £305,997. 8. Tourism. Depending on an individual's freak, a town with tourism potential is likely to be one of the best in its country. That is exactly what Bakewell is. If consideration is being given to making a town the capital of the Peak District, it would be Bakewell. It is the busiest town in Derbyshire. Even then, tourists do not let that stop them from visiting, as they can even find peace and quietness even in the bustling town. It has a lot of tucked away little places in every nook and crannies, with its lively streets and alleys. You will find that you are in a town considered a chocolate box village where wildfowl roam freely. You too will be able to find a moment to relax and have a quiet, invigorating and restorative cup of tea. The surrounding countryside is full of cosy, shady places. Thus, plenty of spots are there under weeping willows where you can while away time. 9. Market. The first time I searched out Bakewell, I got the description of a small market town southwest of Sheffield. I thus wanted to know more about the market. Wow, it was a rewarding adventure. The historic market town is always full of bustles when the market fever hits on a Monday. That is a great impetus to buy locally and support the local farmers and tradesmen. What do you think would happen to the food price here? There is an agricultural centre over the river where you can go to buy and, if you love, sell cattle and farm produce. 10. The River Wye. And finally, the River Wye is a reason to consider Bakewell one of Britain's best places to live. This is the river that tourists spend hundreds of pounds just to come and see. Living in this town, you'll get to be seeing the river every day and observe how ducks and geese jostle for scraps, even though they never have any fear about getting food. At its banks of green willow, you can tuck yourself into the viewing spots. Gazing down onto the crystal waters, you'll see trout as huge as your arm. If you have never considered Bakewell as the place to live, I recommend you try to learn as much as you can about living in this photogenic and picturesque town. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment and turn on the notification bell. This is Learning Canteen.